Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bastion Wazio here, and today, guys, we're gonna be taking a look at this Yu-Gi-Oh set coming out. It's called Amazing Defenders. Reason there's air quotes because there's it's not all that amazing. Okay, so I just want to go ahead and take a look at this. So, pretty much 2023 is going to be the year of Cash Tira, as it is for right now. Potentially we get some Super Heavy Samurai support in the near future. It's going to be all nice and good. Some Teller Knight support is supposed to be decent. Actually, I've seen the replay, it's actually not half bad. But before we get to all those things, with the Photon Hypernova dropping this upcoming February, so in about a month and a half or so, we're going to be getting Photon Hypernova with brand new Cash Tira support that's going to be really meta defining, essentially banishing everything face down, taking up all your opponent's zones, things like that. Basically, it's a walking Ojama trio that also basing Ojama deck, I should say, that cancels out your zones and banishes your entire deck face down, which is really good. It's really effective. But like I said, until we get to that point, we have to go through Amazing Defenders first. And there's 3 decks coming out of Amazing Defenders, right? So there's Rescue Ace, there is Mikanko, and then there is the X-Perly. So because I have 2 R's, I believe you have to roll your R. So X you know, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I just want to go ahead and talk about these decks for a second. I was originally planning to do my original series, or at least get back to the original series I used to do on the channel, which was my Before You Buy series, analyze pros and cons and things like that. But man, after playing these, after trying to build these decks, looking at other people's deck lists, trying to study the decks, play testing, it was just not it. So look, okay, so Rescue Ace is probably going to be one of the better ones of the 3 because it does have some cool synergy, and they're all very easy to summonable monsters. Basically, they all revolve around, well, primarily around Rescue Ace Hydrant, and then when you summon one, you get to special summon all the big ones. And then the super big boss monster, this dude right here, the Rescue Ace Turbulence, lets you pretty much set anything you want, set up to 4 Rescue Ace quick play spells and or traps from your deck with different names to the field. So you just immediately go and you just throw your entire back row at your opponent, which is cool, but the back row is not really, you know, that oppressive. They're pretty much lesser versions of cards that already exist. For example, this one, Contain, says if you control a Rescue Ace monster, target an effect monster your opponent controls. This turn, that effect monster cannot attack and its effects negated. Also cannot be used as a Fusion Seeker, Xyz, or Link Summon. It has additional effects. It's nice, I guess, but I would much rather be playing Infinite Impermanence over this because it's a hand trap. It's a lot more versatile, and it cancels out everything in the zone, which is cool. It can negate spells, traps as well, so it has a lot more versatility. Alert as well. I mean, all these cards are not really doing it for the deck at all. It's extremely hard to get the deck going. First of all, just because if one of these gets if any of these get stopped on the way, then it kind of stops snowball effect. So this is kind of be more of like a snowball style deck where you kind of, once it gets going, it's going to be really hard to stop because you have so many effects going off here and there. But the overall effects of these cards, they just don't do that much for you. Like, for example, okay, cool. So fire attack is probably going to be one of the better ones, right? So if a card added to your opponent's hand, except by drawing it, draw 2 cards and discard 1. It's nice. It's an immediate, like a pot of greed. You discard 1 and it's fine, whatever. But the cards you're drawing are so underwhelming that it doesn't really matter. And now if these were, for example, if the entire deck was like a hand trap deck similar to Side Frames, then now I understand drawing 2 additional cards is potentially drawing 2 additional hand traps, or similar to Runic as well. Then it's a lot better. But you're drawing a whole bunch of monsters you can't really summon on your turn. That's why I put the Bystials in here, and it's just overall very underwhelming deck overall. Don't get me wrong, it's cool. It doesn't rely on the extra deck at all, which is nice. It has its own reliable boss monster as well, which is kind of nice. But overall, I mean, the deck is so underwhelming. Let's check out another one, guys. Okay, so let's check out Mikanko. So Mikanko is like a OTK, FTK deck, ritual deck. that for some reason really focuses on equip spells in order to be able to interact with your opponents. And first of all, any deck that uses equip spells in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just not a good deck. It's just not a good deck. There's a reason Noble Knights are not played at all. And Infernoble Knights, the only reason it was good is because you could loop the smoke grenade, right? And then hand loop your opponent's entire hand away, and you'd be good to go. I mean, you essentially tell them, hey, you try to play Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't have cards in their hands, so they can't. So that was why that was good. But besides that, I mean, it's again, Mikanko, ritual-based deck. Unless it has some type of crazy gimmick like Drytron, which you could, you know, ritual summon from anywhere, and, you know, always easily bring your cards back from the grave, and then you can what's it called, recycle your ritual spell, so you only need to play one, easily searchable, whole bunch of level 1 shenanigans going on with it. So Drytron, that was the reason why that was successful. Very, very powerful, and its main deck boss monsters were really good as well. This is just so lackluster, underwhelming. Like, I don't understand what the point of making this deck was. It's again, me personally, if you love Mikanko and you want to go for it and you really like ritual summoning, more power to you, good for you. This is not cutting it for me either. I mean, it's lack of consistency, it's lack of power, lack of strength, relying on gimmicks that we already know do not work, equip spells, relying on having no interaction during your opponent's turn with the, well, it has interaction during your opponent's turn, but it has all the weakest interactions possible during your opponent's turn with Rescue Ace. And then the last deck is going to be Experly, which really just relies on how many quick play spells you're going to be activating during your opponent's turn. Don't get me wrong, I mean, this card right here, the Experly Plump, is really, really interesting, and it's actually really exciting to potentially mix this with like a Sprite somehow, because it is a rank 2 and it takes 2 level 2s in order to access, which is interesting. But then you have to use the Pearly quick play spells to make this work. So even the cards that are generic and could potentially be useful aren't that generic and aren't that useful. But this is the cutest, one of the cutest decks that have come out in a while. I'll probably pick it up for that reason alone. But besides that, I mean, there's really no point. What this deck is essentially doing is, okay, so the main deck monsters, I should say, are level 1s, and through their effects, they allow you to go ahead and special summon the rank 2 monsters. So that means even if they get effect veilered, if they get impermed, if they get Forbidden Chalice, if they get Forbidden Droplet, if they get their effects get negated in any type of way, you cannot use your extra deck. I mean, come on now. So look, if the effect to summon using a level 1 monster, a level 1 Experly monster, was on the Xyz monster, it'd be a lot better. But the fact that it relies on the main deck monster having the effect special summon the extra deck monster, that means that the second this guy gets negated, the entire deck is now useless and your entire extra deck can just go to shit. Look, I think I'm a pretty optimistic individual. I feel like I try to see the good in every single set, each and every single deck coming out. Making the pros list for these 3 was like trying to find the smallest needle in the largest haystack. There was no way. So I just want to go ahead and leave my full opinions out there. I think the set is just we're gonna forget this set even exists, and I'm just gonna assume the next set is gonna be Photon Hypernova, because if anyone's buying this set for more than 30 to 40 bucks, they're definitely bugging, unless there is some reprint that I am not aware of. I am checking with TCG Player right now just to be safe. I actually don't even know if all the cards are going to be up here on TCG Player. Let me check. Okay, yeah, so from what I'm seeing, the only reprints are going to be Infernoble Knight Renaud, Gizmek, Sunrise Signaler, Reinforcement of the Army, 1-for-1, Hidden Armory, Double-Edged Sword, Infernoble Arms Durandal, XYC Import, and XYC Tribe Rivalries. Tribe tribal rivalries. Yeah. I mean, this entire set is gonna be pretty much gonna be. We're gonna sweep this under the rug, guys. I just want to keep it honest. But at least with this information, hopefully you guys will be able to make your financial decisions. I am not here to tell you this is the best sets ever made. I'm also not here to tell you this is the worst set ever made. I'm just here to tell you my personal opinions on this set and how terrible I personally believe it is. But then on to the next one. So hopefully Photon Hypernova is gonna be, well, it's by far gonna be way better, and probably be one of the best sets of this current year. So I'm very excited for the Cashier support as well as some potential Galaxy Eye support as well. So we'll see when it comes out. But let me know what you guys think of Amazing Defenders when this. Let me know what you guys think of Amazing Defenders in the comment section down below. Are you guys completely gonna skip it? If you are, cool, leave a like on the video, and if you're not gonna skip it, please let me know why. And if I'm definitely bugging on my description on these decks, let me know in the comment section down below. Subscribe for more, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.